minutes, 3 questions in 6 minutes. Alex in Florida, you're up.
I am in awe. I just have to say that again. If people don't tell you that daily or weekly, they should definitely. You put an awesome video on LinkedIn the other day where you were doing some loop, like literally like inverted. You were looking to your right, and everybody's looking. You weren't even looking for it. I'm like, what is going on right here? And you said a great quote. You said, like arrogance is poison in the well of accountability. So you were saying like confidence is required, but arrogance is the enemy. And I was like, that is such a great quote. It made me think to that like scene in Top Gun where like Tom Skerritt's like, you think your name's gonna be on the wall? And he's like, yes, sir. And he's like, oh, that's pretty arrogant considering the company you're in. So I guess my question is, where do you think the line is from where confidence becomes arrogant? And I imagine maybe yourself, you've felt it, a little twinge of arrogance in your career, or maybe been around others that were arrogant. So tell me how you define it, maybe where you see the shift from confidence or arrogance to confidence.
Yeah, that loop video from the Delta loop, exactly like you said, everyone flying on the wings is looking at the aircraft next to them towards the middle. And then Thunderbird 1 leading the formation is looking forward. He's the only person that sees the whole picture. So that whole confidence versus arrogance thing came actually from possibly my most popular LinkedIn post ever, which was criticizing the Top Gun Maverick movie. And people got really mad. And so it did really well as far as traffic. But I said something in there that like the new movie is great, very entertaining, but it's also incorrect because they portray characters that are at this high level in aviation as extremely arrogant. A few of them, not all of them, but they have a few characters in both movies that are extremely arrogant. And yes, there's some inherent competition among us, but not like you saw there, not where you're tearing each other down. It's much more of a team player environment. And people got really upset about that. So I doubled down on it with that video. And it's a fine line, right? Like there's some very big historical fighter pilot figures back in Vietnam that really almost were like spokespersons for being arrogant. But I think that's kind of the public facing side. But what you see behind the scenes, what I shared about the debrief culture and about admitting your mistakes, having the vulnerability to do that, let down that guard, that's the part that you have to have. You can be arrogant when you go out to the bars. You can be arrogant when you're talking to people outside the organization. I mean, I think it's character flaw in general, but sure, go ahead. But you have to be willing to drop that facade and let it all hang out there when you're in the debrief to make the organization better. And so I think that's the big defining difference. And you have to be confident though, because you can't spend time second guessing yourself airborne, not when you're flying that fast. Things are happening so quickly. You have to be decisive and be willing to do it and take the repercussions that come with it if it's the wrong decision. But you can't waste time worrying about your skills at that point.